Hello everyone, Josh here. Welcome to another episode of the Ignite podcast. Now, question for you. Have you ever found yourself, at 9 o'clock at night, laptop open, you're tapping away and you're redoing a report or something that's got to get out to a client because someone on your team got it wrong? Or have you ever found yourself in, as an example, team meetings during the week where your team and your staff around you are talking about all the stuff that they're doing and someone's asking you all these questions and you're like, oh fine, just give it here, it's easier if I just do it myself. So if you ever found yourself in that position, you're not alone. Many business owners, many consultancy business owners fall into this trap and find themselves in this same problem because, and let's talk about the underlying cause, you don't trust your team. So what I want to explore with you in today's episode is if you don't trust your team or you find yourself jumping in or diving in to save the day or you're up late at night fixing things, I want to talk to you about how to fix this and stop this happening in your business. So first things first, I want to really address, the real problem or the underlying cause of why you might be jumping in to save the team, why you might be just taking things on all the time. It's two things. It's a trust problem with your team, and it's a control problem in terms of not wanting to let go of control. So a couple of root causes that we really see with our coaching clients is, and this is completely understandable. It's this concept of you've built your business on your reputation. Clients know you, they like you, and you start to build team and team are doing things and, reports and work and designs, those sorts of things are going out under your name. You don't want mistakes going out under your name, and you don't want mistakes being associated with your name. So that's the first thing. You don't want negativity or bad things coming back to you, which is completely understandable, leading to lack of trust and you taking back control of everything in your business. The second thing is this belief, which is only I can do it. Only I can do it right. No one is going to be as good as me in the team. None of my staff are ever going to get it as good as me. Therefore, that sets up this lack of trust and this sense of I need to take back control of this report, or, oh, fine, just give it here, I'll do it. It's quicker and easier if I do it myself. So this fixer kind of mindset, it's built from the people pleaser, wanting to get things perfect and right. It's also this tinkering kind of part of your personality. And we coach a lot of our members through this process. As you build your business, you're really called to spend time on the big picture stuff in your business, like strategy, direction, growth. But that can be scary, that can be overwhelming, that can be daunting. So sometimes it's nice and easy and safe just to jump back into the fixer mentality of oh yeah, I'll take on that report, or here, just give that here, I'll do it myself, because you don't really want to face the fear of jumping into the unknown to build your business. So this belief of only I can get it done right, fear of mistakes going out under your name, and this fixer mindset, it's comfortable, but it's unsustainable. So they're kind of the underlying beliefs, and if any of those have resonated with you, I really encourage you to kind of inspect that a little bit more, and that's leading to this lack of trust in your team and you not wanting to let go of control in your business. But I want to shift your thinking a bit here. I want you to think about the cost of you jumping in. What's the cost to your business? And this is a really nice reframe, because, and I say this to our coaching clients all the time, we've got to get out of the emotional state and get into the logical, rational state to make good business decisions. So if, you're a bit emotionally overwhelmed and you're jumping in to save the team all the time, you're making decisions from a not great state of mind. Whereas if we can get you back into logical, rational, which is what I want to do in a second, we can make much better business decisions. So it's this kind of lost opportunity cost concept, which is, as an example, you might jump in to fix a report. And what's a report worth? You might have a team member on your team that's, $150 an hour who's doing that particular report, or someone $150 an hour who you're paying to do a design, or $200 an hour. And their salary cost might be, let's call it $60 to $80 an hour. So by you jumping in to fix something, or to rewrite a report, or to do something that someone else on your team could be doing, you're doing work at, let's call it $80 an hour, which, great. But what's the lost opportunity of cost of that? You could be spending work or spending that hour on something that's going to return the business $1,000, $10,000? Like what if you do a fee proposal that wins the business $60,000? What if you had that time spent to go out and network and grab a coffee with a future potential client that jagged $200,000 worth of work? What if? So the what if is the lost opportunity cost. So is it worth you jumping in to fix something at $80 an hour that's sabotaging, or meaning that you're not getting the opportunity to do something that could win, let's call it $200K worth of work? So I want you to think about the lost opportunity cost of things every time you jump in to fix it, because you don't trust your team and you want to control everything in your business. And so I want you to think about the culture that you're building too. Like, you're training your team to depend on you. Every time you jump in to fix, every time you jump in to save, every time you jump in to take back control in the business, you're training your team to go, oh, okay, he or she's got it. I don't really need to try that hard, because every time I do something, they just jump in to save. Or so there's two things that happen here. Your team lose motivation because they're like, oh, well, he or she just jumps in every time anyway, so what's the point? Or two, they become lazy, as in they're like, well, I'm just going to get it to 80% right, because again, they're just going to jump in and take over anyway. So quote unquote, what's the point? So if you think about the growth of your business, you're becoming the bottleneck. Your business can't scale, it can't grow, because you're the quality control bottleneck. You're the person that keeps, you're the linchpin, everything's got to come through you because of this lack of trust, and you're needing to control in the business. So in terms of the fix, like, how do we move through this? So we can't grow a business if we don't trust. We don't trust our team, and trust is built, but it's not given blindly. So there's sort of 3 mindset shifts that I want to talk to you through here. From control to clarity, so if we think about your team, how do you build trust with your team? How do you build rapport with your team? How do you help them become the best versions of themselves? Not going to happen overnight. It requires effort and consistency on your behalf. But can we go from you needing to control everything to you giving your team clarity on what's required? So are your expectations clearly documented and clear? Have you sat down with your team and kind of stepped them through exactly what they need to do to win? Exactly what they need to do to succeed on this project? Are you, really investing in your team? And there's a part of your brain that be going, I've got so much on, investing in my team, I don't have time for that. But that's short-term thinking. I want you to think long-term, that if you invest in a particular team member and build trust and start to let go of this control to them, think of what you can open up for you and your business. So from control to clarity, in terms of getting really clear on your expectations with your team. From reacting to coaching, by turning mistakes into teachable moments, not triggers for you to jump in and just save. I was working with an amazing business owner a couple of weeks ago on this exact thing. She keeps jumping in to save all the time. Every time that something goes wrong, every time that a team member stuffs up, or every time a frustrated client calls, she's the one that jumps in to save. And yes, there are some times as a business owner where it's a really big project, it's a really big client, it's a really big opportunity. You've got to get in and get your hands dirty. But I reckon about 8 times out of 10, it's a teaching opportunity, not an opportunity for you to jump in and fix. And so as I was talking to this business owner, I was just saying, well, it's really important that when a staff member makes a mistake, sit down with them, explain to them ramifications, say, I've got you. You're an amazing team member. I really value and support you. You've made a mistake. How do we learn from this? How can I help you move through this process? I'll be here with you every step of the way, but I need you to fix this mistake, because this is a teaching opportunity. This is a learning opportunity. And you can even be super vulnerable. You can say, look, I'm working on not jumping in to fix and save anymore. I'm working on trusting and letting go of control in the business. And this is a great opportunity for both of us to work together here so that you build your skill set, you learn from your failures and your mistakes, and I am learning as a business owner how to trust you more and to let go of control. It could be an amazing moment with you and your staff member. So that's from reacting to coaching. And then I want you to think about from doer to designer. So your job is not to do, your job is to build systems. So your job is not to patch holes and to fix things in your business. Your job is to build systems so that 1, processes flow more smoothly, and 2, those issues don't happen again. So the 3 mindset shifts that we've just covered, from control to clarity, so expectations documented from your staff, from reacting to coaching in terms of turning mistakes into teachable moments, not triggers for you and your team, and from doer to designer, which is your job is to build systems, not to patch holes. The other thing I want to talk to you about here is the 131 system. And again, I was coaching my client on this particular topic. It's like the 131 is, and this is something you can teach to all of your team, when there's a mistake or there's a decision to make. Now, this is something you coach your team through, and this is what you ask them to bring to you to help them make a decision. So what's the one problem, or what's the one thing that I need to solve right now? So again, this is a framework that you teach your staff, so they write it down. What's the 131? What's the one problem that I'm solving at the moment, or what's the one thing that I need to work through? What are 3 ways I'm thinking about fixing this or approaching this particular problem or mistake or opportunity, or whatever it is? And your staff member goes, then what's the one way that I think I should solve this problem? So your staff member comes to you with like their 131, which is, hey, here's the one problem I've got. Here's 3 options I'm looking at. Here's the one that I reckon is going to solve the problem. Guess what? Like 90% of the time, you as a business owner go, yeah, cool. The one option that you've chosen is absolutely the right way. Great work, good thinking. So you don't have to get involved in all of the thought process or anything like that. Build the 131 into your business. Staff come to you with the 131, and 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, it's just a, yep, I totally agree with your final plan of attack there. I'll support you every step of the way. That half a time out of 10, you might have to get in and go, I actually think about doing something a little bit differently. So build the 131 into your business, absolute game changer. All right. So then in terms of, I guess, practical steps to build trust in your business. So how do you start to actually let go of control, start to build trust in your team, and actually let go of the reins a little bit? Project delivery checklists. So number 1, creating a proper system for the delivery of your projects. When you've got a proper project delivery checklist in place, project kickoff, project delivery, project closeout, you know that your team are following proven steps to deliver projects properly. 2, set up peer review or peer-led systems. So in terms of like, project closeout, how did that project go? What could we have done differently here? And adopting those learnings into future projects is an absolute game changer. Debrief after mistakes. So like, whenever there's something went wrong, let's not berate people. Let's not set people up for failure. It's like, there's no such thing as failure in this company. There's no such thing as failure in this business. There's only opportunities to learn. So what did we learn? And what are we going to do differently next time? And sometimes you can even invite staff member to stand up in front of the group and go, team, like this might be a Monday lunch and learn or something like that. Team, here's how we stuffed up. Here's how we should have done it differently. And here's the system that we built so that no one in this office ever has to go through this again. Is an amazing opportunity for learning through mistakes. And then finally celebrate when they get it right. So really make a big deal when a staff member has been working super hard at something and trying to fix something or overcome some kind of, limiting whatever. Really celebrate. Like that's a positive reinforcement piece. Just really go ham and do a big email to the team and go, Brad just really knocked this out of the park. He's been trying so hard to do X, Y, and Z, and I just want to acknowledge Brad in front of the whole business. Like that stuff goes such a long way in terms of an imprint onto your staff member's brain. They feel good, the good dopamine, and they'll just continue to reinforce that good behavior. So if you're struggling with trust, if you're jumping in to save your team all the time, if you're that person on the laptop at 10 p.m. at night all the time because you don't trust your team and you need to have control over everything, this week, I just want you to, when something goes wrong, resist the urge to fix it yourself. Like really, I know it's super hard. I know you just want to jump in and fix stuff because your business, your reputation, all those sorts of things. Resist the urge to fix it yourself. Instead, sit with the staff member, walk them through the problem, coach them, help them fix the problem. And then you as the business owner go, what system or process would have prevented this? And so again, it's that learning opportunity. So this week, just kind of when something goes wrong, and stuff's always going wrong because it's business, just resist that urge to jump in and take over and fix it and just kind of, what went wrong? What's the solution? How do we stop this from happening next time? And help your staff member take ownership and coach them through that process. it'll be an absolute game changer, because you can start to then build trust in your team as they take ownership over things. You can start to let go of control, which is actually what you want or what you need to grow your business to that next level. It's just a win-win for everyone. So I hope that helps, team. So look, if you're stuck in fixer mode, in people pleaser mode, you keep jumping in to save the project or the team and all that sort of stuff. Look, we help our members with this all the time. So just invite you to book in like a business audit call. There'll be a link below this episode. We'll do a 20-minute full audit of your business, look at what's working, what's not, give you a bit of a plan of attack on terms of what to fix in your business. Completely no obligation. Would love to just to jump in, get my head into your business and have a chat from there. All right, that's it for me. Have an amazing day and talk to you soon.